All right, well, it's winter here in northern Minnesota, and that usually means caster problems on the wheelchair. I'm going to show you the way I usually go about doing the work on them. It's been easiest for me to do it with the wheelchair sitting beside me in the van where it usually goes after I transfer in. Just everything is more reachable here, and I've got places to set all the bits and parts. Plus, I've got the whole hula crew here for support. So today, the problem we've got is there's something broken inside of here where it moves forward and backwards really easy. I think maybe the bolt broke. We'll find out. There are two bolts. This is an older Tylite Aero Z. Word on the street is the new ones only have one bolt holding everything together, so that probably makes it a lot easier to adjust. This might be a little better picture of it here. There's one bolt there, one bolt there. Those are both usually super tight from just getting wet and crusty and rusty, so I'm going to crank those out quick. All right, I got it out, and it looks like the bolt on the side there is sheared off right up inside of here. So that's a bit of maintenance I need to do today. I've got parts from one of my older wheelchairs. I tend to hang on to the stuff when it gets replaced just in case things like this happen. Not a bad idea. I didn't bring out the stuff to clean all the hair and junk out of my casters. That would have been a good plan too. But today we're just going to tackle this and get it put back together again. So here I've got the spare. A little worn, but still serviceable. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. I got really lucky because the fork just slid right out of there without too much of a fight. Sometimes they really get wedged in there and with all the rust and dirt and junk they pick up over time, but things are looking pretty good. I'm going to clean that out a little probably and put it all back together again. One other little word of note, this hole here where the fork slides in, wouldn't be a bad idea to squirt a little WD-40 up in there. I didn't have any in the van, but I did have a bottle of Never-Seez, so I'm just going to use that. Just something to kind of lube it and keep it from getting too gummed up in case you ever have to take it apart again. All right, so I got everything started, put back together again. I got the center bolt here in a bit of a ways, just enough to where I can still spin this, because this is how the angle gets adjusted for the where the caster sits. And that's the part, the only way I figure out how to do it proper is to find a flat floor, get out of the chair with a square and adjust it that way as to where this edge here is square with the floor with the wheel coming out back. But to do it in the van, the best way I've found is take the other caster, if it's still on there and in good shape, and figure out about what the gap is right in here between the footrest and the wheel. And then try to get this one adjusted about the same and get that second bolt in there to hold it in that position. I don't have enough hands to run the camera and do that at the same time, so I'm going to get that done and we'll see how it goes. Well, there we go. Got everything in there, tightened up. The gap is pretty close to the other side. One thing I did notice is even after I got those bolts snug but not He-Man tight, there is still a lot of play back and forth this way in the caster, in the fork I mean. And I think that's just part of the design of this thing. It's not a very well designed piece of the wheelchair. But I got it back together again. Hopefully we'll be back and rolling, and hopefully that helps somebody.